All right. Hey, this is Jeremy, and it's today's 5 for 5. So I'm up here in our Kid Life storage room. This is also the area where Kid Life volunteers come and get coffee. We have this board. It has our mission on it: to love Jesus, serve others, and make disciples. Love, serve, disciple. And we put this board up, my wife and I, a couple months ago because we wanted to make a win wall where people could look at it and celebrate things that have happened in kid life and help us remember. We need to be reminded constantly of what our mission is, why we're doing what we're doing. For me, I need a constant reminder of who I am in Christ and what He's called me to do. For years, I thought who I was in Christ and what I was called to do was to be a pastor, to be a minister. This week, all of our pastors are talking about work, their vocation. And since I was 9 years old, I knew that my vocation and my work was to be in the ministry. Well, I was so eager to jump into it that I didn't do a lot of research. And the first church that I jumped into to work with their youth ministry and their children's ministry was a church that was very dysfunctional. Now, I'm not innocent. I had my own mistakes, but that church was really struggling through a lot of things. And it was just heartbreaking because my whole life had been geared up to work this job, to be in this vocation. And my wife and I had to walk away from it. Not only that, we were interviewing at another church for another position, and somebody from the church I was working at purposely sabotaged me from getting a job at that church. And it was devastating. Luckily, one of the guys that was on the team that was interviewing me at this new church, he was able to get me a job unloading trucks. Now, unloading trucks was not what I felt called to do. And the time and effort that went into it, I had to get up at 4:30. I had to be there at 4:30 a.m. in the mornings. I didn't get off till about 4:30 p.m. in the afternoons. It wasn't a lot of money. So on the weekends, my wife and I had to drive 2 hours to go and work in a family-owned restaurant, diner, gas station, 14 hours on a Saturday, another 6 on a Sunday, drive back, do it all over again. My attitude was terrible. It was so bad that one day I just about ruined my witness. I almost got into a fight with somebody at work over a forklift. And it was so bad I ran home crying, and I told my wife, I said, I'm never going back again. And she said, yep, you're going back first thing tomorrow, and you're going to apologize to that guy you got into a fight with. Well, you know what? The Lord really showed me so many things, and He was so patient with me and so kind with me. He was able to allow me to get trained to be a supervisor at that job and have the best attitude doing it, to go and apologize to that guy that I almost got into a fight with, to be a light in a very dark place, to be offered a job there, a promotion that I ultimately didn't take because the Lord opened back up a door of ministry, an opportunity to go and get paid to be a minister again. You know, Paul, the Apostle Paul, he was a tent maker, but that's not what you remember him for. You don't go, oh yeah, the Apostle Paul, the tent maker. Or Jesus was a carpenter, but that's not what you remember him for. You go, yeah, Jesus, he was a carpenter. No, you remember these guys because of what they did for Jesus. Our work is so important. I hope you're doing something that you enjoy, but maybe you're not. But you know what? What you do for a living doesn't define who you are. And it doesn't define what your mission is in life, your purpose. That's defined by God. We read in Colossians 2:10 that in Christ, we find all of our fullness. We have all of our fullness. We are made complete in Christ. That's where we find our self-worth. That's where we find our purpose. That's where we find our mission, in Christ. It's not in what we do, but it's in who we are. And He says who we are. And in Him we are righteous, we are holy, we are complete. And in Him we have a mission, no matter what we're doing, to go out and show the world and tell the world about the love of Jesus. Hey, I hope this helped you today, and I hope you have a great day today. See ya.